Most of you have probably found yourselves in a position wherein you, in turn, have found a lost wallet and the driver's license, which is generally the focal point of a lost wallet. Unless, of course, all you see is the cash, in which case you are probably a crook and a crumb and have no intention of returning this wallet to its rightful owner. If, however, you do have a streak of decency, and I suspect most of you do, you are going to make every reasonable effort to see to it that this wallet and all of its contents is, in fact, returned to the rightful owner. And with the address being on the driver's license, generally this can be accomplished by the end of the day. However, sometimes it's not that easy. I have had two such experiences, one a great deal more elaborate than the other. A few years ago, I was out there trimming the ivy in the yard, and I came across a kid's lost wallet, which, to judge by the long-since expired expiration date on his driver's license, suggests that that wallet had been out there for years. Now, it was so interesting, was so unique about his driver's license. I'd never seen one quite like this before. It had not just one, but two addresses stamped on it. One address was out in the Hollywood district, and the other one was way in the hell out on the edge of tomorrow in deep Barnes Road, Beaverton. Naturally, I went to the nearest one first, only to find, thanks to Rose City infrastructure, that the address in question didn't exist anymore. It had been turned into a condominium. So I found out which podunk bus would take me clear the way out to the next time zone to that second address. Went all the way out there, knocked on the door, only to find that there was nobody home. So I took it to the manager of the apartment complex wherein that second address was centered. And she didn't want anything to do with it. She took one glance at it. She didn't really even want to look at it. She says, I don't know, I can't tell what it is. I don't have my glasses on. Her eyeglasses were on her desk, just a few feet away, but she couldn't be bothered to go and get them. She didn't want to touch this thing. She fast-forwarded to the bottom line, which was, as you probably can anticipate, no, I can't take that off your hands. I can't return it to him. I don't know. You need to take this to the police. I wasn't going to take this to the police. I thanked her, and I was on my way. I came all the way back here. Got to thinking about it, what to do next. Oh, wait a minute, it's so obvious. It's a driver's license, right? It was issued by the DMV. And technically, it belongs to them. It's representative of them. And I went to the damn DMV, the one downtown, no less. And even though I don't drive, I still had to take a number and sit there and wait and wait and wait. Finally, I went up to the window. I presented the wallet and that driver's license, explained my little tale, was prepared to accept my good citizen gold star and be on my way. And the lady behind the desk said, oh, I see. Oh, I'm very sorry, we can't take this. I'm sorry, we can't take this back. We issue them, but we can't take them. No, you need to take this to the police. I wasn't going to take this to the police. Thanked her and went on my way. I got on the train, was making my way down to Old Town Chinatown, and I ran into your cousin Joe from Leave No One Behind. You remember him from all those years ago? And I told him what was going on, and he had a brilliant suggestion. He said, well, why don't you just fib? Why don't you just say that you found it on the train here or on one of the buses? The Transit Authority has a huge lost and found out there at the bus depot. Just turn it in like that. Magnificent. And right there in Old Town Chinatown was one of those little shoebox TriMet police precincts. And I walked in there, and went up to the lady at the desk, and I explained that I had found this on their train. And she was very thankful. She praised me for my honesty. Oh, that was so kind of you. It was very good of you to take the time out of your day. Here, let me get a little Post-it note, and I'll give you the address. Oh, that's fine, dear. Address? What? For the police department. It's just a few blocks up. Now, you're going to need to take this and present this to the desk sergeant on duty because you're going to need to take this to the police. I wasn't going to take this to the police. I brought it back here yet again. Discussed this with your late punk's auntie. She decided to take the digital approach, which probably all of you are screaming at the screen. Just look it up and take it from there. And she maneuvered every possible approach, every configuration which you could envision, and she got nowhere. And she finally said, "You have invested entirely too much time into this so-called good deed. Now, you can either take it to the police or throw it away. You don't owe this kid anything. This is from years ago. He's undoubtedly moved on. You need to do the same." Well, I wasn't going to throw it in the trash. And I wasn't going to take it to the police. Have you noticed that that's a recurring theme in this little tale? You see, even when it deals with something as innocuous, seemingly innocuous as missing a wallet, lost driver's license, and doing the right thing of turning it in, they're not going to be interested in that identification. Their sole interest is, who are you? Let's see your ID. Let's see your credentials. Let's see your papers. Let's see your passport. Let's see your birth certificate. Let's see the midwife who birthed you. And 24 affidavits. And then squad cars start rolling up with the lights and the sirens. And it gets built up into a federal case. That's what happens when you take anything to the police. Which is why I wasn't going to take that to the police. But what to do with the damn thing? Then, like a Lieutenant Columbo, thunderstrike flash of enlightenment, I knew. An irony piled on top of all of the other ironies of this attempt, as I say, to do the right thing. That first address, the one that had been torn down and turned into a condominium, your cousin, Dirty Travis's blood father, was the mailman for that entire district. That was his mail route. So he would have known not only the new address, but he would have known the old address. He might even have known this kid, and he might even know a forwarding address. I put in a call to DT, and eventually he actually answered the phone. I explained the whole thing to him. He in turn passed along the tale to his father, who stopped him midway through the explanation and said, no, that's all unnecessary. It'd be very difficult to track this kid down anyway, but here's the thing, there's no need to go to all that trouble. Just take the wallet and the driver's license, put it in a Ziploc bag, seal it, and dump it in the nearest mailbox. Really? That's what I need to do? According to DT's pop, the U.S. Postal Service has somewhere in their district headquarters an entire division, the purpose of which is returning lost articles to their rightful owners. I don't know if you remember this because it's a little bit from yesteryear, but it used to be with hotel keys. If you accidentally or intentionally checked out and you still had the hotel key, it's stamped on this little placard here. You used to see it all the time. Return postage guarantee. You just drop it in the mailbox. Well, the same thing with lost items. If you really are at your wit's end and you don't know what to do with it, you don't want to throw it away, drop it in a mailbox. They have the means and the ways and the avenues and the methods and the resources to leave no stone unturned and to get the item in question, whatever the article might be, back to the proper owner. It was that simple. It's good to be able to pass along that insight. And it came in handy, as I say, because this happened to me twice. A few weeks ago, in a waste paper basket, in a free pile, face down, I found some girl's driver's license. And I made a few remedial attempts to get it back to her, and then ultimately when those went nowhere, this time it was a post office box for an address, I put it in an envelope, wrote a little note, and without affixing a stamp to it, mind you, I dropped it in a mailbox.